Matt, how are the markets looking?
Well, obviously, it's predicated on what we expect or what we hear out of China. And today we had an unexpected third day of negotiations, and the market has reacted accordingly. Now we're seeing substantial gains for the third or fourth straight day here, and most of it is based on the optimism out of China. We didn't get anything unusually volatile out of last night's speech. Nothing that was kind of unexpected, and that's what the market likes. It was expecting the worst, it didn't get it, and so we saw a rally.
Do you expect anything from the Fed minutes?
I really don't. Anything that comes out could be mildly dovish compared to what they have been saying, but I think he's already kind of spilled the beans, in his press conference that he had last week. So the market rallied on that already. I would hate to see that something comes out or doesn't come out and the market sells off now when they actually can read it.
Do you have any idea of how the markets will look going into the end of the week?
Not as of now. We're going to start ramping up earnings season, and we're starting to see some of these companies like Apple came out and said that we're going to possibly have a little bit of a warning. Now, that if they did it 3 or 4 weeks ago, that might not have been as harsh. The market would have been unkind, but now 3 weeks later, after all of their suppliers all issued warnings, they came out and it really surprised the market, and that's why they punished Apple so severely. And it may not be an indication of what Apple can provide going forward, but I think it just put them in the penalty box a little bit. So earnings are going to be an integral part of what this market looks like going forward. If a company hasn't issued any warnings yet, they could face investors harsh reality.
Jim Cramer sat down with Tim Cook last night, and I'm wondering, do you think that FANG is back?
They took a lot of steam out of the FANG, and there's a lot of perceived value on there based on where they were trading only 2 months ago. So can it be a market leader again? Absolutely. Valuations now become more attractive, and if we get any kind of sign that we're going to have this trade dispute could be over, the FANG stocks could be well rewarded.
And what about Nike? Do you have any ideas on that?
Well, obviously, the Nike downgrade was probably indicative of the trade war that we're expecting. They have a huge presence overseas, mainly in China. If that can be solved, again, that might provide value for an investor. Nike has suffered because of that, whether they're going to admit it or not in any kind of earnings release. You could see that if things turn around and they surprise on earnings and they talk about forward guidance and China sales picking up, again, you could see a market rally in Nike.
Is there anything in the markets that you're looking at in the next couple weeks besides for earnings?
Not really in the next couple weeks. I think one thing that we're going to start looking at is oil. Oil has turned. Everyone got a little bit bearish when it broke through 50, and it went to toward 45 in WTI, and now it's had 6 or 7 straight up days here, back above $50. I think that's probably finding its sweet spot after we had the Saudi Arabia coming out and having more cuts than expected. That should provide a little bit of tailwind for oil, at least in the short term. We haven't even gotten any cold weather here in the U.S., and if that changes, you could see oil move a little bit higher as well.
Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure.